Have you ever had a pet go under anesthesia? Maybe for dissecting surgery, dental cleaning, or even just a minor procedure? Then you might have noticed something a bit strange. One moment they're looking at you, fully awake. The next, they're out cold. But what's even stranger? Just a few moments later, their eyes flutter open, their ears twitch, their tail begins to wag, and before long, they're back on their feet. Maybe a bit wobbly, but awake. So where did the anesthetic go?
The anesthetic most commonly used in these cases is Propofol. It's a fast-acting drug that's given directly into the bloodstream, an intravenous anesthetic used in both humans and animals. And when I say fast, I mean fast. In under 30 seconds, it can put an animal fully under. That's impressive. But what's even more remarkable is how quickly it disappears. To understand this, we need to follow the journey of Propofol after it enters the body. Once injected into a vein, Propofol rushes through the bloodstream. It's lipophilic, which means it loves fat, so it distributes quickly to fatty tissues like the brain, and that's where it works its magic. In the brain, Propofol enhances the action of a calming neurotransmitter called GABA. Think of GABA as a brake pedal for the nervous system. It tells neurons to slow down, quiets consciousness, and helps the body slip into a deep sleep-like state. This is how surgeries can be performed without stress or pain. But Propofol doesn't hang around. After a few minutes, blood flow starts to carry it away from the brain and towards its next destination, the liver. And this is where things get interesting.
The liver is the body's chemical processing plant, and inside liver cells, called the hepatocytes, there's a whole team of enzymes trained to break down drugs like Propofol. The process happens in two phases, phase 1 and phase 2. Think of phase 1 as prepping a surface before painting. It doesn't make the drug harmless yet, but it makes it more chemically reactive. This step is usually done by enzymes in the cytochrome P450 family. For Propofol, this often involves adding a hydroxyl group to its structure. A small change, but an important one. It creates a handle that the next enzyme can grab onto. Now comes the main event.
Phase 2 is where the magic happens. This is where the liver truly inactivates the drug and prepares it for excretion. And the star of the show here is UDP gluconosyl transferase, or just UGT for short. UGT's job is to attach a molecule of glucuronic acid to the modified Propofol. Why? Because glucuronic acid is water-soluble and Propofol is not. By linking the two, UGT transforms Propofol into Propofol gluconide, a new molecule that the body can easily flush out through the kidneys. This entire process is called gluconidation. It's one of the liver's most important ways of detoxifying drugs and toxins. And in the case of Propofol, it's what allows the body to wake up so quickly.
Once Propofol has been converted into Propofol glucuronide, it's ready to leave the body. This water-soluble molecule is filtered through the kidneys, passing through tiny structures called nephrons, via glomerular filtration. From there, it enters the bladder and eventually exits as urine. A small amount may also be eliminated in bile and passed in the feces, but most of it leaves through pee. And just like that, it's gone! Within a few hours of that first injection, nearly all the Propofol has been metabolized and excreted, leaving the body.
Let's pause for a quick recap. Firstly, Propofol is injected in the bloodstream. It travels to the brain and causes sedation. Then it moves to the liver where it's modified in phase 1, and then neutralized and water solubilized in phase 2 by UGT. The final product, Propofol gluconide, is now ready to exit.
But here's the twist. Not all animals metabolize propofol the same way. Dogs have a robust UGT system, their livers are quite efficient at glucuronidation, so propofol is metabolized and excreted quickly. This is why dogs recover smoothly and predictably from propofol anesthesia. Well, cats on the other hand are a bit more complicated. Cats naturally have lower levels of certain UGT enzymes, especially UGT1A6. This means their livers aren't as good at glucuronidation. Instead, they rely more heavily on a backup system called sulfation, which attaches sulfate groups to drugs. Sulfation works, but it's slower and more limited, so in cats, propofol sticks around for longer. This is why vets have to be more cautious when giving repeat doses or long infusions of propofol to cats. Too much or too quickly and the liver cannot keep up. It's a small difference at the enzyme level, but it matters a lot in practice. Now you may be wondering, why does all this matter? Well, the rapid metabolism is what makes propofol so useful in veterinary medicine. It acts fast, it wears off fast, it's ideal for quick procedures and perfect for smooth recovery. It's also a perfect example of how the liver, and more specifically UGT enzymes, quietly but powerfully shape how animals respond to drugs. It's not just about sedation, it's about the way the body clears the chemical once the job is done. In veterinary settings, it's important knowing these metabolic differences to help keep patients safe, especially the more sensitive ones, like cats or very young animals whose livers aren't fully developed to handle propofol.
So, where did the propofol go? After reaching the brain and causing sedation, it quickly made its way to the liver. There, the enzyme UGT got to work, transforming propofol through glucuronidation into a form the body could safely eliminate. That transformed version was then filtered by the kidneys and excreted in urine. It's a behind-the-scenes process, silent, rapid, and essential for recovery. So the next time propofol is used on your pet or yourself, you know the path it takes, from sedation to metabolism to elimination. A precise sequence handled quietly by the body, time after time.